You hear them over there? You hear this nigga Stephen A over here shitting on my new favorite player? Sucker shit. Oh shit, right.
Kyrie Irving, ladies and gentlemen, is not a bad guy. He's a very good guy. His heart is in the right place.
Alright, I can't take it no more. I'm sorry I came in here yelling at y'all yesterday, but I wasn't really yelling at y'all. I was yelling with y'all. I need y'all to take that into consideration. Again, like I said, I wake up, I gotta get my sports news and shit. Today, I just ain't let it piss me off. This is hilarious. What caught my attention most, what made me go want to speak to y'all was, there was a point in Stephen A's diatribe or rant. I think I used the word diatribe, right? But anyway, it was a point when he was talking his talk where he said, at some point we have to consider the history. We got to look at the history. What up, House? Team Homie. You got to look. Dele, how you doing, baby? At some point, you got to look at the history. And then he starts going into all of these things that Kyrie did, you know, when he took time off, when he this, when he did that. Here's my thing. At some point, you got to look at the history, Steve. Matter of fact, I don't even know who's not, but why don't we all just look at the history at some point? Not Kyrie's history. America's history. You know, all you smart dumb niggas, or you smart ass smart niggas, the ones who feel like research ain't enough. You went on the internet and that's what you call research. Yeah, that's what niggas call research. All of you smart niggas, whether you smart or smart dumb, why don't you Google why don't you do the history on black massacres in America? You understand what I'm saying? Black massacres in America. There's kids in here going through some shit. Black massacres in America. Like, Tuskegee wasn't the first one. There are tons of them. So, at some point, why don't you do the history or pay attention to the history, Stephen A. and everybody else who's against the young man, young brother Kyrie Irving? Because, this shit has happened so many times, nigga. It's not just Tuskegee. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the one that's talked about the most, so it's in the front of our brains. You know, we remember it better. It's more, you know, it's easier to recall. But you know, if you follow some of the people I follow, listen. Some of these beautiful people post history lessons every day. Every day. It's just that they private because they know, you know, the IG and them niggas is gonna shut you down. You understand what I'm saying? But also, yeah, Jay, you damn Skippy. Look at the history of Big. Arma. Look at the history of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kyrie might have been, he might have a history of taking time off a lot. What the fuck ever. I mean, Stephen A is trying to use that to indict him on, you know what I mean, to shit on him, to demonize him. He's like, he said, at this point, I feel like Kyrie is just doing this to get time off. That's corny, Steve. And don't get it, like, I fuck with Stephen A lot of times. I loved it. You know, I used to like when he used to yell at Max, and when he used to yell at Skip. But Max used to be right. Sometimes he used to yell at Max undeservedly, and that's why Max left, probably. And that's why. But I fuck with Stephen A. But this shit right here, I do not fuck with his participation in this brainwash right now. That shit is whack. That shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, how about all the ADD meds they give to children? I don't know. I mean, I can't determine that. I don't know enough about it. I know that I know that a lot of that. I know that shit is. I know that shit is not always right and exact, but I do also know that there are a lot of people out here that struggle mentally. You know what I mean? And myself being one of them. Like I've recently learned that I have ADHD. You know what I'm saying? And that shit explained a lot for me. A lot of shit that I struggle with, when you look at the symptoms of that condition, like, oh, that makes sense. And then you look at the, when you understand the physical, the physical aspects of that shit, like, like we not just some brain that just magically thinks and motivates itself and does all of these things magically. Like, it's chemistry going on in there. Like, when your brain fucking, when you get happy, there's a chemical being secreted in your brain. When you get sad, there's a chemical being excreted or you know what I'm saying, in your brain and all of that. And all of these things, motivation, all of these things come from, all of this shit is physical. It's not just, everything that's mental is actually physical. So if you in a situation where your happy juice or your motivation juice or your focus juice don't squirt out right, pause, then you're gonna struggle with certain things. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I don't know. I do believe that, doctors and shit, do everything they can do to get more money out of you without helping you. But that's why, I don't fuck with doctors like that. You know what I'm saying? I learn about myself. I build up, I work on myself, build up my immune system and all of that shit. You know what I mean? Because they'll tell you anything. Imagine what they'd tell Kyrie if he went to a shrink. I can only imagine what they would tell if he went to see a therapist or if he went to see a bad one. Let's say that. You know what I mean? A schemery one. You know what I mean? We don't know who's who when it comes to them. That's the whole thing. So it's hard to even, I don't want to speak slanderous of good medical people and shit, but we don't know who's who when it comes to them. You know what I mean? But what I do know is my nigga Kyrie Irving don't want to be bullied. You know what I mean? The same way I don't want to be bullied. And, he's about to be bullied. Like I said yesterday, every athlete that can afford to, if you can afford to, and if you secretly agree with Kyrie, but you just doing this shit because you need a paycheck, because you want your paycheck, if you can, if I'm sure there are some people like that, but if you can afford to retire, I think you should. If you want to really make a statement, instead of leaving the man out there by himself all demonized and shit, everybody looking at him crazy. Nah. If you can afford to, you should. I'm about to take this shit down. If you want to see it, go to my YouTube. Alright? Those of y'all who saw it when it first happened, consider yourselves the lucky ones. You heard?